Hello, and welcome to the Ranger's unit of the week. And today we're taking a look at the OT M-60PB. The OT M-60 was a pretty important vehicle for the Yugoslavian army, as it was the first armoured vehicle which entered into mass production, which was built within Yugoslavia. It's basically your very standard early Cold War IPC battle taxi. It carries troops, has the bare minimum armor to make it bulletproof, and it's just meant to go from A to B armed with a 50 caliber machine gun. Funnily enough, the M60 was actually based off the Su-76 chassis. They reused quite a lot of components, and when it originally really entered into service in the early 60s, it ran through a lot of teething issues. Yugoslavia is still a relatively new country, and its military-industrial complex wasn't exactly all that built up. It really wasn't until 1970 with the P model where they actually managed to fix a lot of these issues. And the M60PB model would enter into service a few years later. It's an unconfirmed story, yet Tito was watching a military exercise, saw the M60P, and said, hey, we should probably have some more DACA on now, especially for blowing up enemy tanks. And so Yugoslavian engineers just slapped two 82mm recoilless rifles on top. In-game, the OT M60PB is a 10-point IFV available to the JNA, and it has 3 weapons. So you have a big 50 caliber machine gun and a smaller M53 machine gun, giving you 2 machine guns. You also have 2 recoilless rifles, technically even a weapon slot rise, you only get 1. Has 16 rounds of ammunition, 1.2 kilometer range, 40% accuracy, 10 AP, 2 HE, a pretty nice fire rate of 13 rounds a minute. It's a pretty hefty firepower package considering this is a 10-point transport. Lots of machine gun DACA. The recoilless rifle can fight other IFVs and very lightly armored targets well, but more importantly, just put down decent fire support against enemy infantry. Pop down to miscellaneous stats, has 1 armor, all around, 10 HP, medium size, poor optics, a speed of 45 kilometers off-road, 110 on the road, poor stealth, pretty okay autonomy, and type restricted to marine, support, mechanized, and armored decks. So in battle, honestly I'm quite surprised we haven't actually covered this unit yet, because when the Yugoslav and Finland DLC first came out, this was a real powerhouse of a unit. It's a real symptom of the whole 10-point, 5-point system which Eugene's had for Wargame and Steel Division as well. This is one of the most cost-effective 10-point IFVs in the entire game, because you get some ridiculous firepower. 2 machine guns and the recoilless rifles just allows you to put a whole lot of damage downrange. Yes, the recoilless rifles aren't the scariest things in the world. Poor range, poor AP, even poor HE, but it's on top of a 10-point transport. And this allows this 10-point transport to actually very effectively engage other 5 and 10-point transports as well. And really what makes this such a powerhouse is more so just the combination of the infantry available, because this is a great grindy unit to throw inside of a forest. And with some very cost-effective infantry options, which Yugoslavia has, such as Proletari and Mechanovas, by god, it's just a really scary 1-2 combo. You can just bring a whole lot of different machine gun and anti-tank firepower, not great mind you, but in huge quantities to just completely flood your opponent. Of course, one of its more major downsides is just the poor miscellaneous stats. Only 1 frontal armor, poor off-road speed, and not that great autonomy either. But none of these stats really matter all that much. Okay, maybe armor in a grind fight, as you just need things on the field to take up space and force your opponent to have to spend time dealing with them. But for a 10-point unit with anti-tank capabilities, this does a very good job of really just buying you a whole lot of time. Overall, this is just an extremely cost-effective, and is honestly the most cost-effective 5-10-point transport in the entire game. And once again, going back to the Eugene balance problem, if this was 15 points, it may not really be worth it. But at 10 points, it's just a downright bargain. Too bad I don't have anything in between. But just, the JNA just slapped as many goddamn weapons they could on top of an IFE and called it a day. And hell, it works in Wargame. And I'm going to leave it off at that. This has been another Range Unit of the Week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as usual, please just take it easy.